G'day viewers, how are you? Hope you've been well. It was brought to my attention on a recent live stream. Very long time since I've done a pre-recorded video on Wanker Fat Wednesday, Totally Fucked Up Friday. So here we are on Friday. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of live streams, but not so many of the pre-recorded videos. And I'll be completely honest, the coronavirus messed up my headspace a lot. Not that I've been sick, not that I know anyone personally who's been sick, but I know I made about 4 videos on different aspects of the coronavirus and I didn't want to do it anymore. But there was no other news story catching my attention. It was just coronavirus. That is it. Nothing else is happening. And I'm enjoying the live streams. If you haven't been joining, you should. They're a lot of fun. I'm doing it about 5 nights a week at the moment. But, yeah, time to sit in. Let's do a little bit of analysis. What's happening in the world? And also, you know, because I've been getting really into cocktails lately, I have a new cocktail channel you should subscribe to if you aren't already. It's called Angry Cocktails. I'll put a link. Please, do me a wonderful favour, subscribe. And let's be honest, those of us who aren't teetotalers are drinking a lot more. And I'll at least help you with some creative drink ideas for this period of incarceration. As I'm sitting here, you know, in my home office. But I think I will. A special drink for this video. It'll be a nice big cup of shut the fuck up! And that goes out to all the various idiots around the world who are having protests in some way related to actions taken about the coronavirus epidemic. It's like, what the utter fuck is wrong with... I know, people are fucking morons. That's whenever I look at why does something like that happen, I go, oh yeah, people are fucking idiots. But seriously, actually complaining about steps taken to stop a pandemic from killing millions of people. Because without the admittedly extreme steps that have been taken around the world, we would already be seeing millions of dead rather than the hundreds of thousands we're seeing so far. And it's a very sobering thought to look at the death toll that happened in waves with the 1918 flu. The first wave killed a comparable amount of people to what we've seen so far in this pandemic. Subsequent waves killed 25 to 50 million people. Do you understand? This isn't over. It's actually barely begun. If we were following the movie 3-act structure, this is still the first act. We have not really hit the end of the first act. The first act is when the trouble first arises and kind of finishes where people go, ooh, something's wrong. And the second wave is the hard slog. The second wave is the second act of the movie. That's when stuff gets really hard. We're all our own protagonist in this movie. The next part gets really hard. And the third act is when finally we get either an effective treatment or a vaccine or another approach that actually reduces the horrific death toll that we are now almost inevitably going to face because of these fuckwits around the world. And so many smug Australians were mocking Americans. Justifiably so, because there's some really stupid shit happening in America. And then we got basically very similar protests here. Without the guns, because we're not like that, but very stupid people somehow in their mind mixing up the concepts that the coronavirus pandemic is somehow fake, is somehow a government plot, is somehow a conspiracy, is somehow tied up with 5G, and is somehow tied up with Bill Gates being some version of the Antichrist that wants to use forced vaccinations to have mind control around the world. There are a whole bunch of tiny variations. I've seen conspiracy whack jobs going on that vaccinations in and of themselves will actually have things to make us sick. The government is going to force vaccinations on us to make us sick because the coronavirus isn't real or it came from a lab in China. I mean, you know, when that comes from Donald fucking Trump, it's not a wonder that huge hordes of mouth breathers repeat it. And again, Trump, what in the actual fuck is wrong with his... He can't make sense. I cannot conceive of how people still support him. How they're just not embarrassed. I mean, yes, I get that because he's an obnoxious, bigoted oaf who pokes it in the eye of the elites that you always felt insecure about, you feel like he's your guy because you always want to do that. Yes, he makes you feel better about being worthless, snivelling, pathetic, bigoted shitbags because he's a worthless, pathetic, bigoted shitbag and he's the president. So therefore, he must be right and therefore you must be right. Fuck you. Anyone who considers themselves an active Trump supporter is worthless fucking scum. And anyone who's attended any of these protests is a fucking idiot. No grey area. No, oh, of course not. No, you're a fucking idiot. If you protested against measures taken to save lives, and again, not 1 or 2 lives, not 20 or 30, not a couple of old people, but millions of people worldwide of all ages, of all persuasions, nobody is actually safe. There are higher risk groups, but nobody's safe. And there is so much we do not know about this virus still. We are still in the very early stages of dealing with this. So if you are one of these people, if you thought, oh, the coronavirus isn't real, we don't need these restrictions, shut the fuck up! If you've tied it up somehow with the absolutely absurd idea that 5G towers are responsible for it, shut the fuck up! If you've gone on that Bill Gates has some diabolical plan to control the world population with vaccinations, shut the fuck up! And if you are a Trump supporter, go out, stick your head down the toilet, keep it there, just shut the fuck up. You people are beneath contempt. I saw talking heads trying to be reasonable about, don't mock and abuse these people. We need to reach out to them. We need to empathize. We need to be reasonable to them. Really? Does that work? Does being reasonable, does showing people scientific evidence stop them from saying 5G towers cause the coronavirus? No, it doesn't. Being reasonable doesn't work. So I'm going to mock them because they're gibbering fucking idiots. They are worthless scum. They are good for nothing. And the pack of them need to shut the fuck up.